Is to put
works.
on orange spray tan.
So that's like if I told a black person they chose to be black because they put on black makeup.
What are you talking
That
about?
make you're making no sense.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah,
If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
I would vote for Trump.
Okay. And why do you support Trump?
Well, I support Trump because I actually like his beliefs on like how he feels about illegals because I don't think they should be in our country.
Okay. And why?
Well, first of all, they come in here illegally and statistically proven many illegals have murdered many civilians in our country, whether they are children, they have been raped or murdered or both. So I want you to explain to me how ICE getting rid of these people is a bad thing.
Oh, I have no issue with immigration enforcement against people specifically who have committed violent sex offenses and are convicted murderers, for example. But I think that most people who are detained are people who haven't done those things.
Well, okay. So let's
Do you
say a
agree?
lot of people who are detained. Well, okay, yes, they couldn't have done murder, but they still have come in illegally.
Okay. And
So, okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody broke into your house and trespassed illegally. Would you, and let's say they didn't do nothing, they just broke into your house. Do you think it would be a bad thing if the police came, arrested them, and took them away?
wait, say that one more time.
Okay, so if somebody breaks into your house illegally, but they don't burgle you, they just break in, and the police arrest them and take them away, do you think that's a bad thing?
No.
Okay, so what
Do you
is your
understand the
point?
difference between someone breaking into your house and someone just coming into the country?
Well, I mean, it's a very close example. They're both breaking into a different property.
No. Do you think that like we treat like the borders of our state and our country the same as we border as like the properties of our country?
No.
Okay, so then like I think that obviously you agree then it can be treated differently.
Yeah, I see your point, but as I was saying, I just personally think if somebody from like another country wants to come to our country, they should know the right way to come in without being in here illegally or without like causing a problem.
For people in TikTok, stop spamming the chat. I don't know why you guys are doing the copy paste thing. I could just mute people who are doing that. Please don't. Okay. Yeah, you were saying?
So I see your point, but wait, I kind of forget what I was saying. Oh yeah, sorry. So if somebody wants to come to the country and they don't have like a legal way to get in, they should find a legal way to get in because I think that is like obviously like if you're coming in illegally, I feel
Then
like
make
there's
the
no
legal
point if there's
process
just
go
a way.
quicker. Like the reason why people are coming to the process undocumented is because the current process takes too long.
Well, they should learn to be patient because patience is a good thing. And if they just break in
I'm
illegally,
sorry.
it shows that they have no
Waiting
patience.
multiple years on average and thousands of dollars is not just quote unquote being patient. Like just be patient. No, come on, that's ridiculous. That's way
But
too long.
I do have another topic I want to talk about.
Can you agree that's too long?
Yeah, sure, I can agree.
Okay. So
But
do you think that someone should be removed from the country because of that?
well, I don't want to say it's because of that, but I feel like if they are like they come here illegally, if they're trying to hide from the cops and they're like staying down, I feel like they should.
You said if they're trying to hide from the cops and they what?
Like if they're trying to hide from the cops to avoid being taken away, they obviously like realize what they did was wrong, and I feel like they should be taken into custody.
That doesn't necessarily mean that just someone's like hiding from the cops doesn't mean that they did something wrong. For example,
But
Jewish people that were in an attic hiding from Nazi officials, did they do something wrong?
well, they were okay. There's a difference. The Nazis came to murder the Jews. They came to take them and like enslave them. So they were hiding from that to avoid that happening to them.
So just because someone is hiding from someone doesn't mean that what they're hiding or doesn't mean that they are then in the wrong, right?
Well, I guess.
That's kind of the point I was making. So,
All right.
um, okay, so like you're not really providing a reason. What benefit do we get from mass deportation? that we wouldn't get from mass
Um,
amnesty?
well, I think a personal benefit is, like I said, there's very common like murders and like rape. I feel like
And
as
we can
long
go
as you're
after those
getting
people to a greater extent if you provide a pathway to citizenship to undocumented immigrants who haven't committed a violent or serious offense.
okay. There is another topic I would like to talk about though.
Okay.
So my question is, do you think trans women should play in women's sports?
So I think that that should be determined by local sports organizations, not by the federal government. I don't think that there are any trans people dominating women's sports, and I think that trans people should be allowed to play. Absolutely,
Okay. And how do you
because
feel
most
about
people who are trans are not dominating.
all right, how do you feel about trans people in like a general statement?
Based. Love trans people.
Okay. And I've noticed some like weird things going on online. Not like it's like every single like person, but there's a lot of people saying like their pet they own is trans. And personally, I don't think
No, that
that's
makes no
how it
sense.
works.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's no
good.
gender for pets.
Okay, thank you. That was also a point I was trying to make. But like I was saying, I don't think trans women should play in women's sports because even though
Okay.
yes, they could
What does that have to
identify
do
as a woman,
with this conversation? Like, why are we even talking about this in politics?
well, it's a big point of politics.
Can you name one specific trans person dominating?
Well, I mean, I don't know their name, but I remember there's one person like wrestling and they really like beat this like woman up. And personally,
Okay, so if you
I
don't know the
think
person's name and you can't even reference anything specific other than like wrestling, which by the way is consentful and men and women do wrestle depending on the circumstance. Like,
well,
they consent to doing the wrestling match against the other person before they do it, right?
I actually did not know that.
Uh-huh.
But okay, personally, so in like politics, like I don't really know like because you're saying trans people don't fit into politics, but I think they do because obviously
Trans
like
people do fit into politics. It's just talking about whether trans people should be in sports or not isn't something that should be even talked about in the context of federal politics because there's no reason for the federal government to be restricting trans people from playing. Let me ask you this
well,
question. If a trans woman is worse than the average cis woman at a particular sport, why restrict them from playing?
well, if we want to make it fair, and let's say we're restricting every
They're
trans
worse
woman
than the
because
average cis woman. If you remove them from the sport, how would that make the sport more fair?
by showing fairness.
How? They're worse than the average cis woman in the sport. So if you remove
Because let's
them, that doesn't make it easier for anyone.
well, okay, well, I mean, so let's say there's a trans woman who's like average, like they're better than them, and
Wait,
they
wait, wait.
obviously
We're not
can't
talking about that
play.
right now. We're talking about in this specific circumstance where a trans woman is worse than the average cis woman. Should they be allowed to play in that circumstance?
No,
Okay, why not?
because so
Why
they're
not?
obviously not good, but because they're not good doesn't just let them play because they're bad.
Why
Because
not?
it could show a bias. It could show that if you want to be trans and play in the sport that you identify as, you have to be bad at the sport.
Okay, well you'd have to measure that they are too good to play the sport. Like they're dominating too much so that you don't want to let them play. Otherwise, you should let them play. Is the idea.
Well, I just like think it could depend on
If
the sport, like in a general statement.
okay. So like for example, like if a trans woman wants to swim, would you be okay with that?
Well, no, no,
Why not?
because so biologically, men and
If they're
male
worse
and
than the average
female,
cis woman at swimming, like they swim slower, why shouldn't they be allowed to play?
they shouldn't be allowed to play because, like I said before, there's other people who are above the average, and it could show a bias towards that you have to be bad at the sport to be allowed to play.
That's still not a reason why you would prevent them from
That is a
playing.
pretty good reason.
Not at all.
How is that not a good reason?
Because your whole reason you provided established prior was because of fairness. Now this has nothing to do with fairness.
Well, like I think I low key like now I'm thinking about it. I think I agree with what you said. You think it should depend on like the local like sport or something, but I do not think they should be
Yeah,
allowed to play in the Olympics and like big
local
sporting
sports
events like that.
jurisdiction, and that will be determined by the Olympics, not by politics, not by the federal government, right?
All right, but so like you said, them playing in sports isn't really like a big part of politics. So should we talk about their identity?
Okay.
So personally, I think like trans men, trans women, they can identify as that, but biologically they're not.
Okay. What's the
And I
point?
think this because so obviously male and female cells are are very different with their
Yeah.
chromosomes,
So when we
their
say when we say
systems.
wait, so trans men are men, but they're biologically female. Trans
Hmm.
women are women, but they're biologically male. No one's disputing that.
I've seen a lot of people disputing that though.
Okay. So what's your disagreement with my position?
Well, okay, like you, I like that's what I was trying to make the point that you just made that like they're biologically the gender they were born as, but they can identify as something else. But I just feel like if they're like getting like mad if somebody brings up that they're like not completely a female, I feel like they shouldn't be mad at that because it's true.
Wait, who are you talking about?
No, just like in a general statement.
Okay, well, they're not talking about biological sex. They're talking about gender.
Well, yeah, gender and sex are two different things, but
Exactly.
in the end, I personally think there's only two genders.
Okay, so what are intersex people?
Um, inter intersex.
Yeah,
Like,
if they're
is that a
intersex,
thing?
like, yeah.
Well, can you define that?
What do you mean define that? There are different types of intersex conditions for the individuals who
Well,
are intersex. Like, what gender are they?
well, I feel like that could either be up to like an expert in like a medical degree, or it could be up to them, or it
So if the
could
expert
just
says
have to
there's
do with.
three sexes, would you say there's three genders?
Yeah, I would.
You would? So there's more than two
Hmm.
genders?
Well, that means there's three.
So you think there's more than two genders?
I think there's three then.
So you think there's more than two genders?
Yeah, but I think there's no more than
Whoa,
three.
what a woke liberal. You believe there's
I
more
think
than
there's no
two
more than three.
genders. Whoa, crazy woke liberal.
Can you tell me a fourth gender?
Wait, hold up. You're just like not acknowledging that you believe in more than two genders.
Well, I said I
So
believe in three genders.
yeah, yeah. What's the third gender?
The third gender is, I don't even, like you said, if there's three
Oh,
sexes, then
so he
there's
looks
three
like he's lost. It looks
genders.
like he doesn't know what he's talking about. Look at this woke
I was
liberal.
just talking.
Yeah, you were.
If
Look
you're
at this
telling
woke
me that there's
commie.
three sexes, then there's probably three genders. So if there's not another sex, there can't be another gender.
Okay, well, so do you think gender and sex are the same thing?
They're very similar, but not 100%.
Okay, so just because there are that many sexes doesn't mean there has to be that many genders. There could be different notions of gender that exist depending on the culture,
Like what?
right? It depends on particularly what culture you're referencing. Historically speaking, you can have things in the Talmud, right, for example, and in the Torah that are going to go over different understandings of gender. It's not just like the specific understanding of gender we have in our culture, right? That's like an example historically you can reference.
So it just relies on culture and religion.
What?
That's what you're saying. So you're saying it just relies on culture and religion.
It relies on culture, yeah. Gender is cultural
Oh,
because like
so what is the point?
you understand that gender is socially constructed, right? So different cultures will have different understandings of gender.
But there's many people that say there's like 50 genders, which is obviously not true.
Say it again.
There's people that say there's like over 50 genders, like so many genders, which is obviously not true.
Well, there's different understandings of gender that exist historically.
But like
So
50 genders, I get there's different
I
numbers.
don't know the number. I don't think you know the number either. It depends on how the cultures. Like, why do you care? The
Well,
reason
I
why I was making
care.
the joke of you being like, oh, you believe in there's more than two genders is because you guys did that whole fucking thing where you guys care so much about how many genders people recognize, which is just a historical claim.
How is it historical?
It's historical in description of what other cultures have recognized as gender. It's not a complicated idea.
It's pretty complicated.
You know what we need? You know what? Only 50 chat? We need more. We need infinite genders, actually, okay? Infinite. Where are they? Infinite
Yeah, yeah,
gender,
yeah.
okay? We need a more. We need more. We need more gender, actually, okay? We need more of them. Where are they at, actually? Get more of them. Not 50? Okay, we need at least a million. Okay, at least a million. Okay, let's see if we can get some more, everybody.
Yeah, I think that's a
Infinite
fair amount.
genders. Okay, please. Billy Jane, thank you for the $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Of course. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. TBM, thank you so much for the $4.20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Marianne, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you know what? You're totally right. Thank you so much, Marianne. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the More Gender Fund.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so like, what's your big problem with Democrats? Can you name like a policy of
Well,
Democrats
I
you disagree
think.
with?
Oh yeah, okay. Let's talk about how you guys obviously say Trump is a racist, right?
He is.
So, but you also proceed to call him orange and make fun of his skin color.
That's his choice, sir.
That's his choice
Yeah, he
to make people
chooses.
call him oranges. He chooses to look orange. I don't think
Yeah,
that's
he
how it
chooses to put
works.
on orange spray tan.
So that's like if I told a black person they chose to be black because they put on black makeup.
What are you fucking talking
That
about,
make you're making no sense.
dude? His natural skin color is not orange. He puts that on his body. He does the fucking orange spray tan. Okay, someone who's
No, he
black didn't
doesn't.
put that on their body. Genius. That's how they were fucking born. Okay.
Um,
When you have Cheeto dust on your fingers and I make fun of your fingers for being orange, that's not me being racist because I made fun of the way that your skin looked. Like, what? What type of fucking stupid shit is this?
But if you're telling me no matter the spray tan, there's many like a spray tan changes your skin color too. People get a spray tan to
Oh,
make
God. Thank you
themselves
so much for
look
the
darker.
whale diving.
So he's basically that's his skin color if he's getting that spray tan.
Oh, fuck off, bro. Come on. He's Mango Mussolini, okay? He looks like an Oompa Loompa. I'm sorry that hurts your feelings.
That doesn't hurt my feeling. That just I feel like that's
That's
just
not
racist
racist.
and discriminatory.
You think it's racist for me to call Trump orange?
Yes, because do you think it's racist if I call Trump
Wow,
black?
everybody's so racist. Oh my God, oh Parker, stop calling Parker orange. How racist, actually. How terrible. Jordan, thank you for the $20. Thank you very much. That donation you just sent, it's orange. Oh my God, holy shit. Racist donation, holy shit. It's orange, okay? It's orange. Look at it. I see it on YouTube Super Chat. It's orange, okay? Okay, Parker. How horrible. Don't say that, okay? Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I
We
got you.
are
Thank you very much, Jordan. I
Charlie
really appreciate it. Thank
Kirk.
you for the orange donation. Thank you. Candy corn, that must be racist too, actually. It's orange, okay?
I would say one more thing.
Come on, wait. What's the orange race? When did that drop?
I made it.
Yes, this is like. So, am I making fun of Trump for being like an Oompa Loompa? Like, what
Yeah,
is
that's
the
racist
what is
because
the
I
orange race? I didn't know
decided
that new race just
the
dropped.
orange the
Is it
orange race was
Agent
my
Orange or
race.
like what is it?
I made the orange race.
What?
I made it because
You made
obviously I
it.
did. Yes, I did. Do you have a
You
fucking
made the
problem
orange
with that?
race.
Do you have
Can
a
you stop
problem?
trolling for a second? Be serious.
I'm sorry.
So, can you be serious?
I'm serious.
Yeah. So, would you actually think I'm being racist for saying that Trump is orange?
Yes,
Why?
because that's obviously a skin color, and I get it's a spray tan, but he obviously got that spray tan for a reason.
Yeah, you're just trolling. Okay, that's not his race.
We,
Can you just be serious for a second? You
I've
think
been
Trump isn't
serious.
racist?
No, I think. Well, why do you think he's a racist?
Well, because he popularized the birther movement, saying that Barack Obama was born in Kenya when there's a birth certificate of him born in the United States to undermine Barack Obama being president of the United States. He called for the execution of the Central Park Five, even though they were exonerated based on DNA evidence. He didn't rent to black people in the 1970s explicitly because they're black and had C marked on their applications to represent non-white individuals, so they wouldn't rent to them, even though they had the same qualifications as other home buyers that were white specifically, that they did say that they had openings. We can point to the fact that he's said that Kamala Harris turned black, indicating that he thinks that she wasn't black prior. He's depicted Michelle and Barack Obama as apes, which is a common racist trope against black people.
Well, okay, I do agree he's not a good person. Like he doesn't have a good character, but in my opinion, I personally like support more of a Republican side than Democratic side.
But on what?
We talked about all these topics
Be specific.
like ICE.
What about ICE?
I already just told you about this. I told you about how many
Wait.
children
So,
and
so
adults.
wait. By the way, you support Trump even though he's racist. Is that your position?
I don't support him because he is. I don't support him. I support the Republican Party.
So you support him even though he is racist?
No, I support the Republican Party.
Okay, but do you think he's not racist?
I think he is, but that doesn't mean I support him
So
because
you
he's
think he is
racist.
racist? So you support him in despite of the fact that he's racist?
I don't think you're listening.
I am listening.
I
Here,
support
I'm
the
going to grab
Republican
something. I'm
Party.
going to keep listening. You can keep speaking. I'll hear you. Still be able to hear you. I can hear you from my phone. I just need to grab
If
something to
I
drink.
identify as a Republican because I believe in the Republican Party, that obviously means my vote will go to a Republican. I'm not just going to switch my vote because of someone's character. I'm going to keep my vote strong because of my beliefs.
Okay. You understand that someone's character could inform whether they are a good person for that position, right? Like you don't think character at all is relevant?
Well, it is relevant, but first of all, he's also been president before, and I think our country was pretty stable at that time.
Really, what makes you think that?
Well, if we look back, I think personally the economy was in a pretty stable situation, and that is one of the most important parts of our country.
Okay, so can you name one metric of the economy that's been made better off since he got in office?
Well, I mean, I was like a child, so I didn't really study economics.
No, since he's got in office.
No.
No, you can't.
Well, I don't really pay attention to economics. I just brought that up because I
So
looked at
why'd you bring
like
it up if you don't
economical
even know?
stats. So I
What's
looked at
up?
economical stats.
Okay, is there anything you can point to that he's made better off?
Well, I think how like the gas prices were pretty good around that time. Obviously now they're higher because of like the war with Iran.
So
But
anything you can
personally, I
point to he's
think
made better off?
gas
It's gotten more expensive.
because of the war.
Okay. And who started the war?
So, well, I think Iran started it.
It was objectively Trump. Do you want to bet?
Why would I bet?
You say that it was Iran that started the war. You want to bet?
Well, how did Trump start the war?
You want to bet?
Sure.
How much?
Oh, I'm not giving you money.
Because you'll lose.
No.
So then what makes you think you have to give me money?
Well, okay. I want to see how Trump started the war. I want you to show me.
He and Israel struck Iran first.
Was there a reason to it?
There were different reasons given, whether it be from Marco Rubio or from Trump. He claimed it's because he wants to prevent them from getting a nuke. But this
So
war hasn't
he,
prevented that at all.
so he attacked Iran to prevent them from attacking us and our ally countries.
There was no evidence that was going to happen.
But like you said, he was trying to prevent the nuke.
That hasn't been prevented with the war.
Well, there's obviously no nuke happening right now.
There wasn't one prior. Operation Midnight
Okay.
Hammer prevented that. And Operation Midnight Hammer was only on the table because Trump decided to pull out of the JCPOA.
Wasn't Iran bombing Israel or bombing a country?
You said wasn't Iran bombing a country? What country?
Oh wait, no, that was Israel, right? Which was it, Israel or
Oh,
Iran that was bombing a country?
Israel.
Okay. So, and you said Iran was attacking Israel, right?
Israel attacked Iran with the United States.
Okay. So also he he wasn't just preventing a nuke, he was also preventing explosives from the country because obviously Iran, they do have a pretty good defense system. So, yeah.
What? Why did we attack them? Because they have a good defense system?
Well, obviously if like if Iran and Israel have like a dispute and we're obviously siding with Israel, we're going to help them.
So you're saying we went to war with Iran because they have good missile defense systems.
That's not what I just said.
So then what was the reason we went to war with Iran?
Well, we obviously went to war because Israel was in a dispute with them and we're allies with Israel, so we have to help them out.
So just because Israel was in a dispute with them doesn't mean we should be. And secondly, you have to understand that the U.S. decided to do this with Israel. It wasn't that Israel did this, then the U.S. came into it. It was that the U.S. did this with Israel. They left. Okay.